Monsieur, does this mean Overwatch is back?
No.
Overwatch 2, A Mountain of False Promise. So, you remember that big multiplayer video I launched my channel with? The one where I covered exactly why I hate modern multiplayer games, except for co-op, and used Overwatch as an example to go along with quite a few of those points made? Welp, if you've been paying any attention whatsoever to the burning trash fire that has been Overwatch 2 for the past week during the writing of this script, you probably got a good idea what I'm here to talk about. Originally, I didn't even want to make a video about it, because frankly, I felt like my multiplayer video covered exactly why I don't want to ever play or cover PvP games on this channel again. But sometimes a company fucks up to such a ridiculously unbelievable degree that you kind of just need to grab a drink, get some food, lay out a nice and comfy blanket, sit down with some friends, and watch it burn. Recently, the developers of Overwatch 2 announced that the PvE component of the game that they have been hyping up since 2019 has been cancelled. Yeah, you heard me right. The main reason for the release of Overwatch 2, the thing that most people I knew who still played this pathetic excuse of a game were waiting patiently for, is no more. Back when the trash fire that was Overwatch 2 came out and fully replaced the original version of the game, one of the main things that the devs put out there as a reason for creating this excuse of a sequel was that they would add an incredibly in-depth PvE component, one that would add such a level of customization and varied ability setups for the existing characters that it would completely justify the pointless brand-oriented change to a new game, while making the original version no longer exist. Of course, when it came to launching Overwatch 2, it ended up coming out with no PvE component. In fact, it came with an announcement that it would be delayed by another year or so. Isn't that just grand? So everyone just had to accept that the old game they may have even loved was gone and was replaced with a somehow even worse version, with now a 5v5 mode and any form of non-battle pass progression pretty much completely and utterly gutted. Let's not even talk about how it was literally unplayable for like the entire first week. How did I feel about this? Do you even have to fucking ask? I was furious. I saw it for what it was, a pointless pushing out of a new monetization system and a fully functional store before any actual substantive content was being added to the game. Not only that, people who'd been playing Overwatch 1 had experienced a massive drought of any new content or additions for literal years, while they waited for Blizzard to develop this promised PvE component. Years of playing a stagnant game that completely stopped adding anything to its supposed live service except skins, all for the excuse that someday we'd at least finally get a great PvE mode that would truly make the game feel complete and provide us the story so many Overwatch fans have always wanted to see more of. Well, wouldn't you know it, my dear friends, Blizzard provides. Activision Blizzard, a company worth $62 billion, couldn't handle making a simple PvE edition for one of their existing games. all these excuses about resources and simply not having the ability to handle working on both the PvP and PvE content at the same time, do they honestly expect you all to be utterly brain dead? $62 billion company lacks the resources and manpower to do the most basic fucking work that any other studio manages to handle just fine. It's about time we really just stop and accept that there is nothing left of the Blizzard people once loved. There is only a deep, empty greed hole that swallows up everything it can. A company so pathetic and wretched that they can't even be bothered to put the required resources into maintaining, much less adding upon their existing property and games. Games that still have tens of millions of active players, by the way. I have gotten the footage that I am using for this video after not playing the game since I made the multiplayer video, and have promptly uninstalled this piece of crap. The single reason I still even allowed it to take space on my hard drive was because I was at least a little curious to see if the PvE component would be any good, if it would add some life to this dying, boring slog of a skin-centric Skinner box. Well, there goes that hope. And seeing the conversation around this announcement, I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way. I have seen so many players and long-time fans, members of this community, on forums, on Reddit, on YouTube, everywhere, all truly finally seeing Blizzard for what they are, all finally looking at Overwatch and seeing the endless false promises being fed to them, and maybe for once coming to the conclusion that if they did it once, they'll do it again. I feel bad for this community. All these players that still held out some hope that somewhere inside that festering Gomorrah that is Activision Blizzard, there was still some semblance of the Blizzard of old that would put out some of the best quality experiences in the gaming industry. No more. Forever will I be thankful that my eyes were opened long ago, and I have not spent a single penny on Overwatch 2, that I have not rewarded these worthless dogs with anything for taking away the original game and somehow giving us a worse and worse experience as time progresses, as their endless pockets fill with more and more money. How long can a billion-dollar corporation make false promises again and again and again until some sizable amount of people get sick and tired of it and realize how much they're being played for fools? If this entire thing hasn't convinced you of just the kind of company you're supporting when you give Activision Blizzard money, then you are in fact hopeless. Once again, this isn't even talking about all of the moral evil bullshit that they have done that has gotten covered over and over by YouTubers, by news sites, by everyone in the entire goddamn world. We all know that Activision Blizzard are scum. We all know that Bobby Kotick is the devil wearing human skin. We all know that working there is like throwing yourself into the bowels of hell based on the type of stories that have leaked out over the years. We all understand that on moral grounds that company is as rotten as they come. But the fact that even beyond that, they do nothing but disappoint again and again and again, fail to live up to promises again and again and again. That should really make you think, because even if you are the kind of scumbag who doesn't care how horrible they are behind the scenes, they are fundamentally failing at providing you a service worth your money. They are failing at their one goddamned purpose of being a company, a corporation that makes products people buy. Even the products they put out are half-assed failures, built upon lies. So what do I have to say to conclude this wonderful little rant? Fuck Activision Blizzard, and fuck Overwatch.